Welcome back to your Daily Dose. My name is Robert. It's my pal Susan. We're talking all things Run
All
Disney
things
Marathon.
Disney marathon, dad in a three-wheeled chair. And I'm interested to know about that part of it for you.
It's such a good part, and Debbie touched on it in a number of ways. What I've been blown away by is, of course, the external experience, and now what we were just hinting toward, and we said, oh, we better record this, was how it made me feel as a runner. That people have told me, hey, running a marathon, of course, extraordinarily tough. Pushing a cart and running a marathon, and no less a person than your husband, the doctor, Chip, saying, how much does he weigh? And everyone's thinking about that. It makes it physically harder. Let's just say that. Even with the great cart, which Team Hoyt makes beautiful, running carts, it's harder. Physically, on the other side of that is, the purpose, the why you're doing what you're doing, right? Especially when you get into a physically demanding thing. If you've settled the why, the mental can cure some of the physical. And that's what I feel like, where I had not an advantage maybe, but just I had it was constant. Dad was literally with me. Anytime I felt physical pain, I could look at Dad and go, this is why. This isn't about me.
Okay, so I wanted to give my dad this experience, and it's happening. Yes, there may be physical pain, but wow.
There it is. Because, there's no, oh my God, you hear some talk about, God, just one more mile, this, that, and the other. I felt almost like Debbie was saying, I wasn't anticipating really being done. We were celebrating every mile, not like, let's get this over with. It was more like,
oh, wow.
It's incredible what we're doing. Because there is a little sadness when you're done. Even if there's relief, there's sadness of, oh no. Because this was an unbelievably special time. Just being part of something, hearing those cheers, seeing these costumes and people and environments. And it's like, when do you get to do this?
And the interactions specifically between your dad and total strangers, lifting you both like up in the air. Like,
well, and people even wrote on the comments, I read one where they talked about, saying it was one thing to see them talk about Dad and I, but then I ran by them and I listened to Robert talking to his dad, and and then they were moved again, and I was like, oh wow. And I mean, I don't mind at all they're eavesdropping. It's a public course. I'm like, that's great. But that it meant something, that people cared, that they were looking at that going, look at these two. And I was like, yes, please, we're here to be part of it, not to be better than or anything else. But I mean, if you're getting something from this vision of me pushing Dad, awesome. If it inspires you, awesome. That's what I hope it does.
It inspired my friend who spent a dinner and breakfast with us, my friend watching you, my friend Harriet. She specifically multiple times addressed what it was like to observe you as a son interacting with your parents, who were both older and challenged in different ways, and how much strength and love was present. You were clear, you were a leader, but there was so much kindness and tenderness. And there were challenges. Your mom got COVID. I mean, we saw the decline. And, you wondered if you need to take her out. And then you left that again to go get some, over-the-counter medicine to help her feel better. I mean, there were so many things. And you're on the course with your dad. I don't know. Was he uncomfortable? Was
He didn't express it, but Dad doesn't express a lot of that. He was cold in the early parts because, leaving at 5 a.m. or, really being out there, 3
in the dark?
Yeah. However, overall, and you can see when you see the pictures, which I look forward to sharing more of them, you'll see as the sun came up, and I think he warmed up even, you see more smiles from him.
That's wonderful.
And he too, when he recognized this isn't just even maybe about the cold or whatever discomfort he might be feeling, look at how people are responding to me. I guess I'm doing something, and now they're getting louder, and they're loving the fact that I, Dan Cochran, am engaged in this moment.
It's so cool.
Right?
Yeah, it's so cool. The other thing that I want to share with you, which I share with my mother on the phone today, was my girlfriend Harriet was not at the run with us, but she joined us right after that. And when we made a dinner together, she spoke to your dad, who has classic advanced Parkinson's vocal challenges. And she spoke to your dad straight out, just ask him a normal question in a normal tone of voice, like he would be anyone else, and he would have an opportunity. The question was, and Dan, how did you feel about this today? You know, she wanted to know. It wasn't a yes or no question. You know, she asked him a question that required conversation. Your dad spoke better than he has, I mean, for me, than I've heard him in 3 years. He was so present, having had that experience all day long. And then at the end of dinner, he got up, and instead of going from pillar to post to get over to the couch, he just kind of walked over there. And I remember saying to him, Dan, I think marathons might be good for you. Maybe you ought to do this more often. You're
Well,
walking great.
yeah. As we said, we'll wrap with this just to say that the social engagement and again, what the mental does for the physical, those are not real well studied things.
That is fascinating. It is fascinating. Yeah. It yeah,
We'll see.
lifts you, carries you.
It does. And that is your daily dose.